What's going on, everybody? It's your boy Spencer. Hope you guys are having an absolutely amazing Friday. And here it is. This is the deck profile for Speedroids, the objective, greatest deck profile ever made for this deck. I'm just kidding, but no, this is what I've been using. I really, really like it, actually. I think it's amazing. And yeah, we'll just kind of go from there, and I'll explain my rationale behind a lot of stuff, and obviously there's a lot of new cards coming out. But we can start here with Speedroid Rubber Band Plane. I think this gives you a little flexibility when it comes to Rubber Band Shooter, I think it's called. Yeah. Um, just for an extra extender, level 5s are actually quite valuable, and they can be even more so because of the existence of red-eyed dice. This deck is actually pretty difficult to learn, I'll be honest with you. Mostly because there's an infinite amount of possibilities with every hand. It's just always different. So this card, I feel like, alleviates some of the pressure. Sometimes it puts too much on, like for yourself, meaning that maybe you don't have anything to do with it and your field is full, so you're stuck. I've been there before, so you have to be careful. But this is one I actually really enjoy. Double yo-yo, I believe, is the correct choice. Drawing it is not horrible, but more than anything, you want to have multiple copies just because you just never know. Like the turn before, maybe you send it to the graveyard, like it was randomly chosen. It's just something good to have. Party Horn Kid, the new card, is very good. It's an amazing extender. You'll summon this quite a bit of times, but you don't want to open it right. It's not the perfect opening. I mean, at the end of the day, it is a level 4 tuner, which is really nice. And if you want that additional normal summon to excavate another card, potentially find another extender, or who knows, man. I mean, there's a billion different choices. Terra Top, obviously. Hopefully this comes off the ban list. I know it probably can't. I feel like they should have maybe even just errated this card. That'd be great. Anyways, 2 Den, a card that's pretty good actually to have at 2. I mean, you could technically cut this to 1 because I do think you need a copy of Triad dice. I'll just move it up here. Why not? Because if you roll a 6 on your roulette, which is great, these 2 would actually be really nice to send off of it. So many tuners in this deck. Sometimes I think there's actually too many, but they really went heavy with it in the new OCG support. I think they're all tuners, if I'm not mistaken. Card Turbo is pretty straightforward. It's a free special summon tuner monster, level 3. Take Tomborg is an insane card. The fact that this card exists, I think, is pretty crazy. It can be Ash, but again, I can't play the game as if I'm going to be Ash every turn. At some point, you just got to live your life. These are 3 Ash Blossoms. I don't think anybody would be too upset about that. Marble Machine, obviously, is one of your best play starters. You're going to play that at 3. This is what you want to open. You want to obviously start here, search something, and then go from there. Not horrible to have someone off of Speed Roulette. And more than anything, you just need the 2 for just all these different options. It's something that's going to be used almost every turn for you. Red-Eye Dice is, again, another one of these things where if you open it, like you need an extra copy to send to the graveyard. So the fact that you have 2 of these essentially means you need 2 of these as well, because you want to try to banish the Chanbara so that you can send this to the graveyard and this. There's a little bit of open flexibility, but you don't always want to like banish some of these cards that you use pretty frequently. There is a little, there's obviously a lot of flex spots here. I mean, I have Called by the Grave, so I have Joel and Lockbird here. 2, I think you could replace this with Lancia or whatever you feel is most important. But there's kind of like that 2 spot here for me. The new card, Speedroid Scratch. It's good to send, obviously, the Danko Duke. It's good to send the Triad Dice to the graveyard. This Red-Eye Dice, I think, is also a good choice for that. And maybe you want to cut this to 2. There's actually a Wind monster that does the exact same thing. I didn't think this card was super necessary. And that card actually might be better because you can... I can't think of the name off the top of my head. Maybe I'll put it in the comment section. But there's a Wind monster that you can send even any Wind monster to the graveyard to search a Wind monster. So it's kind of, I guess, a preference thing, honestly. Monster Reborn plus the 3 speed recoveries plus the World Legacy Secession. These are all just kind of decent one-ofs, and you're going to be activating cards quite a bit with Party Horn Kid. And these extenders just give you another level of disruption. That's how, like, bing bang boom this deck can be. And so much of your your starters, your finishers. I mean, this card is wackadoodle. I always seem to draw a 1, unfortunately, but anything you get other than 1, even a 1, I mean, a free special summon from the deck, it's definitely worth the risk. I like this card personally. This is a combo deck, so I do have Called by the Grave. I would drop these two like a hot sandwich, or a hot potato, I should say, if Called by the Grave came back to 3. That's just my personal opinion. I think it would be really good. Although it sucks because Gamma is so popular now. 3 infinite permanents. I think this card is coming back to a certain extent, or at least in any given casual matchup, which is what I try to make these decks for. This card is very good, and it will be available, in that structure deck that's coming out. And then the new Speedroid Duplicate. If you have everything you could possibly need, and sometimes you will, or maybe you want to draw it, or maybe you, I don't think it's a desired thing, but if you draw it, it's not bad. It can be searched with Cork Blaster too. So I do think it's worthy of having in the deck because bouncing something to the hand is very good. Moving on to the extra deck. Clearwing Rider. Didn't think this card was very good, but it is amazing. And I will be releasing a gameplay video. It may end up being tomorrow, actually, the more I think about it. I was going to release both of them today, but I'll probably release it at like noon tomorrow. This card is fantastic. And it gains 500 attack. It just blows up your opponent's field. There's no bad result. I mean, if you have your opponent has 3 cards and you roll a 1 or a 2, it's not perfect, but I do think it's very good. Same thing about this new Crystal Clear Wing Synchro Dragon. Didn't think this card was going to be in the deck much longer, but being unaffected by monster effects plus negating spells and traps can come in handy a whole bunch, especially in the Dino matchup. It's huge. So I think this card is like a stopper for some decks, but it depends on the matchup, not always, but it's very good to have in the deck. This is the Baroness de Fleur. It's an Omni-Negate, generic, doesn't even have to have multiple tuners or non-tuners, which is rare for that level, really good. Shen, another generic 9. I use this, sometimes it depends, I think I have it in one of my combo videos. 2 Crystal Wing Synchro Dragons, sometimes you can pull 2 of these. I think it's basically if you have like one of these Monster Reborn type of cards, you can make 2 of them off of Cork Blaster instead of 1. That should be in one of the gameplay videos. Clearwing Synchro Dragon and Clearwing Fast Dragon. Didn't really realize how good these cards were. When you're going in blind to a matchup, maybe not the best. But, I mean, more than anything, if you want to summon this card and somehow your opponent's still alive during your turn, you can tribute it and summon 1 each of these. This is an extra deck negate. I mean, who doesn't go into the extra deck? How is that not a good thing? So that's just my opinion. High Speedroid Hagoita. This is just bananas to being able to special summon a level 5 every single turn. Chanbara I never kind of use, or I should say anything like that, but it's very good fodder for Rubber Band Shooter. Cork Blaster, of course, is so good. Totem Bird, so I love this little XYZ package here. The Wind XYZ pool is so good, and there's many other options. I know there's a rank 3 that negates monster effects, but I figure there's so much of that here in the rest of the extra deck that you kind of need some spell and trap negation that's easier to access than Crystal Clear. So Totem Bird does that as a quick effect, and then, Ensemble Robin, multiple bounces to the hand from special summon, really putting pressure on your opponent. And that's a big reason why I play Tri-Eye Dice. Let's say you put in a Crystal Wing Synchro Dragon, something else, and then you pop this here. One of my gameplay videos has 3 of them. I mean, you're protecting your ensemble, making them waste if they don't even know what this card does and didn't read it. And then you're just killing your opponent. This card, I think, will be key in the deck, personally. These are if you have not too much extenders, but if you have a lot in your hand. And then Rubber Band Shooter need 2 of, in my opinion, for your follow-up plays to finish your opponent off. It kind of just does that, which is nuts. Pretty standard extra deck, I guess you could say, or side deck. 3 Lancia, this card is still really good. Lightning Storm, very happy this card will be affordable. You know, Raigeki with Dark Holes, I still think is a pretty decent package in my opinion. Dark Ruler No More was in another structure deck, so a lot of these super powerful cards will finally be affordable. Maybe we'll get Forbidden Droplets and triple tactical talent someday too. That would be nice. Finishing off with a Cosmic Cyclone. Maybe one of these could be a Harpy's Feather Duster, the more I look at it now here. But yeah, that's going to do it for today's deck profile. Be sure to look out for more gameplay videos where I show off some of the support that you see in this deck profile that was not in the last gameplay video. Other than that, that's going to do it for today's video, and I'll see you guys next time.